Here's Denise Salcedo. She's back here and she's interviewing Bryan Danielson, and he talks about Will Ospreay, bruv. Fall down, get back up. Fall down, get back up. Fall down.
Of course, I have to ask you about that match against Will Ospreay. It was one of the most incredible matches I'd ever seen. What did it feel like for you to be in the ring with somebody of that caliber like Will Ospreay and to put on the match that you guys put on together?
I mean, it was really surreal, right? I liken Will Ospreay. Gosh, we've got so many great wrestlers, but when you talk about like who are the best guys in the world, right? Like Will Ospreay, like he's just incredible. Swerve is incredible. I don't know, he's coming back soon for the Wrestle Dynasty show, but Kenny Omega is just like when you watch him, like it's like it's incredible. And Will Ospreay is one of those guys and I've wrestled for 25 years and I've wrestled the best people from a bunch of different generations. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I definitely agree with those names. Like I love all three of those guys, but ultimately Ospreay doesn't stand out in AEW because a bunch of guys can do the same that he already does. And not only that, just the comments about WWE and all of that, and then you see what he's done in AEW and what has it really been. He didn't turn their TV ratings around. They're telling better stories with Fletcher than they have been with Will Ospreay, which just tells you it's like, man, you guys, I don't know, their focus is all over the place. And
which to add on to that as well, and I don't mean to cut you off, Phil.
No, go ahead.
The thing with this too is I can concur with Danielson's thing in that it's going to kind of bury Ospreay a little bit too. It is the best match other than the one he had with MJF, the first one. Those are the two best matches he's had, and nothing's even come close. Nothing. Seriously. And I love Ospreay, but it's the truth. Like
I agree. A lot of it is just same old shit, same old that we used to chant at Cena, and like you can't tombstone people off the apron onto the mat and make me care. That's not going to make me care.
Dude, the fact that he no-sells it, too. He no-sold the tombstone. He's like, I'm going to be in the Continental Classic. You just got a tombstone pile driver on steel stairs, a kick to the back of your head, and a brain buster on the top rope, and you're good to go in like 2 to 3 weeks for the Continental Classic.
Moose Knuckle says, who the dressed him? Brie Bella, bro.
Actually, oh, no.
Fuck that. Who did his haircut? Do you not see that giant bald?
That Butcher. He let Birdie do that.
Yeah,
that's Birdie.
That's Birdie.
Oh, my God. Yeah. With the plastic scissors, apparently. What the fuck?
Got one of those suck cuts, man. The vacuum haircuts.
Vacuum haircut, yeah, exactly.
So we got a little reunion. I know it's WWE, more WWE-ish, but
I'm about to get a Woody.
Enzo Amore and Big Cass reunited at Cass's wedding, or Big Bill, whatever you want to call him. And dude, AEW, if Tony had any balls, he'd bring Enzo in and put these two back together.
Bring him in now, like immediately.
Yes, or to WWE. Like WWE, get a hold of Big Bill. How long is left on that deal? I know his wife works in AEW too, but goddamn, man, any company, you got to bring these two in. Don't make them do a shoot fight in the crowd in Ring of Honor with Tama Tonga. Yeah, don't do dumb shit. Have them come in and talk and draw money, bro. Like, come on. And they're so good for the tag division. Think about this tag team. Everyone wants to see these back, and Enzo does for like OVW now and stuff, and he's great.
He's
and
really good now. He's really good wrestler now. Like that's the sad thing.
Yeah, and people want to see them back together, and it's like they never even won the tag straps on the main roster. That's how popular these guys still are. I feel like people want to see this. Here we go. It's like,
how you doing?
How you doing? You can't teach that, cuz. I love it.
How you doing?
I want them so badly to reunite. I want
they
them
just have the look together, man. They just I don't know. We need it back somewhere. Some TV shows got to do this.
Split Big Bill off from Jericho and have him go up against Jericho and Keith, and then have Enzo, team up with Big Bill and have that be the end of the learning tree. That would be the best way to get them the biggest babyface heat ever, and then just ride that momentum to the tag titles at this point.
Unfortunately,
you got nothing else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the end of the learning tree, is Samoa Joe is ultimately what the end of that is. In my opinion, let's just say that.
But that's not a bad idea, though. I know you're
because Jericho drove him through the wall. You got like a year ago. No, just kidding. It was like a few months ago.
You mean that fake ass wall that everybody could tell was a fake ass?
Shout out Joe. He's doing his thing, but yeah, he's got to come back and he's gonna. I think he's going to be the one to break up the learning tree. If I had to take a guess, Raj Giri,
wall sandwich. I must come back for my revenge.
Yeah. So AEW Collision garnered its lowest 18-49 rating in show history for an episode in its usual time slot, not opposing WWE main roster PLE. Collision averaged 278K viewers with an 0.07, whatever I don't like to get in all the nitty gritty, but ultimately the show sucked ass. It's dying. It's the new Rampage. RIP. It was good while it lasted. Conrad Thompson announces at the AEW All In Texas tickets on sale event that StarCast will be returning for All In weekend. And I quote tweeted this and I was like, I assume Bischoff wasn't invited. So yeah, StarCast once again will be back in AEW land. Come and check out Ric Flair's third last match.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
So
wait,
Collision rating.
Wasn't he supposed to be in AEW? I swear he was like a spokesman and like an ambassador for the company or something. Like, what happened there?
Well, you know,
Jay, that's
not very fair. That's not very fair to assume that I was going to work for AEW. Although I do think that a healthy AEW is good for the wrestling business. And speaking of healthy, might I interest you in a healthy boner? You can get one over at BlueChew.com. Chocolate Blue Chew. And if you order with code 83weeks, you'll get a triple pack for $5.99. So here we go. Here's Conrad announce. Here's his announcement.
Sir. And StarCast was really created to support the original All In, Tony.
Right.
You know, we wanted to find a way to take that super show. But this dream and the idea and the ambitious goal of selling 10,000 tickets, Tony, at the time felt unfathomable. Who would have thought just a few years later it'd be the most ticketed event ever?
Right.
And now All In is back in America.
Shivani's literally checking. I almost call him Shifoni because it's but Shivani. Yeah, Shivani's checking his watch literally as Conrad's talking.
I'm sorry, I can't stop dying laughing because your impression now is so on point.
It's the goated, bro.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
I thought you were still talking the first 2 seconds.
Come on now, DJ. That's not very fair to assume that Phil Mark sounds anything like me.
Chuckling through the video because I'm just sitting here. I'm like, oh, Phil's not talking.
It's the Ric Flair. It's the Ric Flair Jay Lethal. It's the Ric Flair Jay Lethal segment all over again, but instead it's Phil Marks and Conrad Thompson talking to each other.
Oh my god!
Oh,
see,
come
that
on.
was drawn out. Book that. Book that, Tony.
Come on.
If you have balls, Tony, book that on your show.
Oh yeah.
Right here in Arlington, and I'm proud to announce right here today,
Tony, that we've actually partnered up with Blue Chew, and that's why I'm dressed like one right now. I've got my Blue Chew sneakers on and my vest, and you can get one at wisechoices.ca
In 6XL.
And I'm proud to announce today here at All in Texas, I'm actually the new Blue Chew mascot at SaveWithConrad.com.
And what's that?
Save on a Blue Chew today.
Stay with Conrad and his boner.
Tony, that All In is now a week. It is going to be a destination. StarCast is coming back to All In right here in Arlington.
That's right.
How about that, Tony?
And I might call up my friend Hank Hill. Save on propane and propane accessories.
Amen. Dude.
Oh my God.
You know what's hilarious about that? He's saying that he's talking about, we got 10,000 K to the first StarCast and the first All In event or All Out event. Dude, you're saying this in front of 200 people at that freaking media scrum. Like, oh yeah, look at what we did back then. But and you're saying it to 200 people in the current present day. Like, is that not extreme red flag?
Right, and no ESPN reporters were even out there like trying to do any journalism. Conrad looks like the white viscera.
Oh,
Big Daddy C. Big Daddy C.
Big Daddy C.
Oh, come on now, Scully vibes. Viscera was
Come on
much
now,
larger
Sterling
than Atlas.
Daddy, see?
One
Just-
pole, it's a
God,
double
that's
pole
terrible.
match. One pole has Blue Chew, the other one has Viagra. Book it.
Neither of those guys are getting up a goddamn pole. What are you kidding me?
A blue two on a pole
ready.
match.
Oh, hey, you never know, man. And that would be entertaining.
Oh,
television.
I know. I'll book it, and the winner gets to sponsor my private plane,
Oh God, no. Oh,
and the losers fire. Dude,
The losers.
Skelly, thank you.
boner or
so
fire match.
AEW CEO and GM Tony Khan is excited about the future of professional wrestling. How long is he going to be excited about the future of professional wrestling?
Let's see how many times he says great or amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pro wrestling.
therapy. That's what he needs. Look at.
I'm actually going to leave this small screen chat just so it doesn't. I want to minimize the risk of Don Stevensing. Shout out Aubrey Edwards.
He's always been at the forefront of entertainment, whether it was the original broadcast television, cable, closed circuit, pay-per-view, VHS,
He
DVD.
talks like he was the first to do any of this.
Right.
Pro wrestling's always been there, and the future of wrestling and the future of entertainment is streaming, and pro wrestling is going to be at the forefront of
Does
that.
the future of pro wrestling lie in your hands, Tony Khan, or the future of, like, if it's in your hands, we're all worried and scared. That's why everyone's going up against you, bro. Like, if it's in the hands of NXT, we're like, all right, we got a shot. We got a shot for longevity here. This thing might progress nicely, you know?
Yeah,
AEW All In and all of the AEW TV shows are going to be live streaming going forward on Max.
They're going to take a hit on the pay-per-view from that, but they're praying to God that people are like, well, I'll just sign up for Max. So, again, this benefits WBD. This leans into my theory. They're just peeling off the top. They're just taking off the top. And as long as they can do that from AEW and Tony keeps putting up his own money, they'll throw up some money. WBD doesn't give a they'll throw up $9 billion and shelve Batgirl movies and John Cena movies and then lie about it to their public investors until it has to be made public.
They've done, and that's why their company is crumbling slowly but surely because they're not making.
Like, it's not just AEW guys, it's WBD as well. Like, they're right now, you know,
Yeah.
they're banking on this James Gunn. Like, I'm telling you, they are banking on that big time, man.
Dude, if Rooster Teeth can go from WBD, what the makes you guys think that AEW can't be next? Seriously.
That's true.
Great home on
I forgot about that.
TBS. We have a great home on TNT. Tony's been calling wrestling himself on TBS and TNT for decades, and he's going to do it for many, many years to come. You can watch AEW the same great way you've been
Bro,
watching
this
it.
is the same he said in like year 1 and 2. It's like, yeah, we know, bro. Can you stop? Like, will you just stick it in already? Like, when are we going to get to what you've been
Do you
fucking
not see him
promising
also
us this
rushing
whole
into
time? Like,
great now? Like, he's starting to rush in the word great now. He said it twice now in the past 5 seconds.
right,
Love
but
how-
he falls back on great, but he likes to go amazing. He tries not to use it's fantastic. He tries not to use great because we pointed it out so much.
Whole
that
lot
he's-
of nothing. Whole lot of nothing, burger.
You're going to be able to live stream the shows on Max too. It's going to be the future of pro wrestling. And along with that, I think the future of pro wrestling is this event that we're talking about.
The streaming is going to be the future of pro wrestling. Yeah. Dude, we know for the last 10 years when WWE started doing it.
You're on HBO Max. WWE's on Netflix. Who's behind the 8 ball? You tell me. They actually got 4 different TV deals, Tony. Me.
Mercedes Moné wants a Beyonce for her AEW All In Wrestling Texas entrance. So I quote tweeted this and I was like, bro, Beyonce. So when you approach these A+, like these triple A level celebrities, like a Beyonce with even WWE, they instantly shut that down. Let alone if you go, hey, AEW. They're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Who are you going to get to pitch this? Meltzer?
She's
Like,
been
what's gonna
smoking with
happen?
Snoop too much. That's what's been going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
dude. And like Snoop is cool, but he loves wrestling. So he's like a major name, but Beyonce's like a name above even a Snoop. Snoop's like iconic, legendary, everything. They're like neck and neck, but like really Beyonce is, you know, she's like in that stratosphere of like people who don't just show up and do TV shows. Snoop's so legendary and famous because he'll do every TV show, you know, he'll show up and do whatever. So, and he loves wrestling, right? And so Beyonce isn't like a wrestling fan. So, and then I also said, remember when Taylor Swift was going to show up at All In last time? You know,
Yeah.
like that is big dreaming, wishful thinking. But yeah,
That was
if I
back when
was
you had CM Punk and you actually had a chance.
yes, and like
right.
yeah, and if I was Mercedes, I would just like aim lower and try and just get Uncle Snoop to come and appear, even though WWE might be like, come on, Doug. You're not doing that, but yeah, I would just aim a little lower than Beyonce. Do you guys think that Mercedes lands Beyonce or what?
Hell no.
No, hell no. Yeah,
Especially with what just came out with Jay-Z. Beyonce ain't coming out in public. For
Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah, I was about to say, you're probably right.
Oh my God! Talk about a real sicko segment.
I was about to say, hey, at least you didn't say, hey, I want LeBron to come next to me. And Kobe had a lot to say about him.
So Danielson says that he doesn't know what his involvement will be at all in Texas next year, or if he'll ever wrestle again, but he will definitely at least be there. Oh yeah, we'll just put him up in a skybox. It'll be great. He'll ref a match
to the fans.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I'll be there in case you guys want to just like be in the same vicinity I'm in. You know, I'll be there hanging out. I don't really know if I'll, you know, the funniest ever. Like, okay, why is that a news story? Because
he'll have a sign in the crowd, just like Thunder Rosa had tonight on Dynamite War. But instead of saying WTF, he'll say, "Help me, please help me."
So here is Powerful King JJ Ray Phoenix. Jesus Christ, I am a restart right now from doing.
Hey, you have an autistic person.
Yeah,
you have an autistic person. You can say it. I give you the permission.
Okay, all right, yeah. So Ray Phoenix deleted all of his tweets, and my whole thing is like, a lawyer might have told him to do that. He did leave one of them up, but yeah, when it starts getting messy, just delete the. Perhaps an NDA silent release settlement thing is coming, and Tony's like, just don't talk bad about me, please. But yeah, shout out Ray Phoenix. I covered all of that on the PWT run-in. I don't want to spend much time talking about it. This fadeaway media is like looking back on this hilarious moment of 2024 when CM Punk shared the story about cooking Jack Perry. Then AEW aired the footage on TV. Lest we forget, I'm not going to big size it again
on TV.
But we'll play this back. We got to remember, because this relates to everything, and we can't forget.
Punk's narrating this one. I've seen this clip already.
Yes,
so
and this is the end of the year, and I wanted to bring this to like the end of the year, the Christmas holiday special show that I'm doing, which you all are invited to as well. But yeah, I wanted to play this on that, and we will again. But let's just all remember what he's saying here. Because we can't forget this, and this just plays into basically the culture backstage in AEW and what Ray Phoenix is going through, and other people, Miro possibly, allegedly, might have similar stories, and yeah, so we'll see as future comes, but let's just remind ourselves of this as we enter the new year. One of the most glorious moments of 2024, the dagger in the heart of AEW in 2024.
Jack came back from his match. I was the next match. I'm sitting there.
It's exactly step by step to how Punk described it. That's what's so funny about this whole thing. And then
you would think he's literally right there as he's like about to choke this out, telling you the story of what's happening.
Yeah. Dude, literally like narrating it like a Christmas story, you know? The F word that came out of my mouth wasn't fudge, you know? But Samoa Joe also just saves Jack Perry's life in this video, which is so funny.
I got people with me. I'm not going to say who they are, you know,
because the people who's with them: Malachi Black, Brody King,
Black.
Buddy Matthews,
all
Malachi
of them who
Black.
were buried and pushed down the card until people kept screaming for them to be utilized, and then they finally
got a lot of friends who work there, and I wish them all
Joe
well.
Also, who's like, dude, I want to have a match. You know, I need to go out there and have my match with Punk, and then they stole the show with that all in.
Don't want them to be punished because they're friends with me, you know. And I walk up to him and I'm just like, Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet like on TV, you know? And he's just like, well, if you got a problem about it, do something about it. And I was just like, man, come on, man. You know, I would kill you.
Is that a real threat? Yes or no?
No.
I'd fucking kill you.
Yeah.
He just means like, bro, I'd tie you up in a
when
knot.
you're in sports too, like in competitive sports, you talk literally like that all the time. Like, yo, I'll kill you on the court, or you know what I mean, or like that.
Yeah, like you wouldn't actually. He wasn't actually gonna kill him. He was saying that
like, I'd kill you, not I'm gonna.
Like
kill
the only
you.
people
I would kill you if you tried me.
Yes,
and then he gripped him in a choke. He got him in a choke too. So he would have, Jack. You're lucky. Samoa Joe is right there.
Exactly. And the other thing is too, it's like everybody is like, well, he shouldn't have done that. And it's like, yeah, he did if he wanted to get the out of there. Did you ever think of that? Maybe he didn't want to be there anymore. I don't blame him. You know?
Like,
well, if you had all your coworkers constantly with you talking behind your back and you're telling your boss to do something and he does nothing about it, what the else are you going to do? You're going to handle the business like you're a goddamn man. And then people are going to be surprised that you handle business like you're a goddamn man after you try to handle it.
And then vilify him after the fact for handling business like a man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what made him.
And it just,
I'm sorry
like
that
Chael
we live in a
says,
world full of
sometimes
pussies now. Sorry, you can go
for real though. It's soft ass
truth.
out there, bro.
Can't let you get close. You know, I thought I was doing a responsible thing. You know, I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. Samoa Joe was there.
Yeah, I see a little bit of choking, dude. You know.
Yeah, he pushes him and he chokes him.
And then I quit. I turned to Tony and I said, "This place is."
And then look, he turns to Tony, and I said, "This place is a joke." You're
don't you see? He lunged at him. That's clearly a lunge.
He's literally turned at him right now, saying
Tony's in the corner right now, curdling in the fetal position like a baby because he's scared for his life. He's never seen anything so horrible in his entire life.
Never been so afraid at a wrestling show.
What a pretentious, rich ass cunt who has never ever been in a fight in his life.
You got to understand, Jay. Tony had to see one of his own get put in a headlock by CM Punk, a fellow Nepo guy.
Yeah. I was in fear for my life because my monitor got tilted.
Dude, that shit is so good, bro.
So funny.
What is so funny about that is that they stooge themselves and then they show it. By the way, here's a fun fact for that. There's another person he doesn't want to get in trouble. The guy in the red shirt is Chris Hero, by the way. I don't know if anybody actually knew that, but that's Chris Hero.
Yeah. And Hook and Taz were just both back there, and they're like this. You know, you can just see.
They're like, I want to go to NXT already.
Yeah,
get me out of here. There's also still people who will sit here and say, "Oh, well, CM Punk sucker punch Jack Perry. He was fixing his hair. You wouldn't if you hit somebody while they're fixing their hair. That's a sucker punch." And I'll tell that idiot,
Sean
Ross Sapp,
dude, Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer all ran with that. He got punched, and the rapper dude that rapped "Swerve Out to the Ring" was the only one that had the true recounting. And I said it then, and I'm so glad Punk confirmed exactly what that dude said. It was unreal. They stooged themselves. Let the record book show it.
Yeah, the funniest ever, dude. Speaking of, we talked about the mess between Ring of Honor and New Japan and shit. So check this out. The grizzled young veterans are defending their belts at the Ring of Honor show against MXM. So I explain it. I go, 2 WWE teams fighting for New Japan championships in AEW's version of ROH. I hope we hit the forbidden ceiling with this sooner or later.
That will be the next. That will be the next AEW pay-per-view, the Forbidden Ceiling.
Bro, like 2 WWE teams fighting for New Japan belts in AEW's version of Ring of Honor. You can't make this. Is why people can't connect with this show. You know, these shows.
Dude, and you want to know the crazy thing is that it's also they're using WWE gimmicks and And don't get me wrong, they're all great workers, including the male model guys. They're like they can do shit in the ring, and they're good. It's just the gimmicks beyond dumb.
What's stupid too is that Deadlock Pro Wrestling used all 4 of these guys better in their little rinky-dink fan-funded indie federation and booked better stories with them in their tag division than Tony is doing with them right now.
No, listen, the one counterpoint I will make to that, I think the perfect thing Tony did was pairing Rico with them, and I don't know why he didn't continue to pay Rico.
Yeah, he should have.
Because I thought Rico was the perfect manager to go with them. Rico's obviously still in shape and can take bumps. Did you see that, man?
Yeah, he was in great shape.
Not even just that, like, I hope to God, like, if you want something to sink your teeth into when it comes to the ROH 6-man division, if you really want to bring the trios division back to prominence, have those guys do a whole gimmick with Dalton Castle. Seriously. That should be your trio.
That's a great idea, too. Dalton Castle, he's from Rochester. He's from where I live. So,
yeah, well, he's
anyone's behind that idea, it's me. Let's go, Dalton Castle.
Sean Ross Sapp says, I spoke to Bobby Lashley about Kate's question from the media scrum. You have to defend it after it already ran its course. Now you're drumming it up again because you have to be like, see, we were right and he didn't care. Yeah, he's not just going to be rude to you guys to your faces and tell you, well, that's a stupid ass question. He's a professional. Why are you bringing it up again? Now everyone's talking about it again. So I spoke to Lashley about Kate's question from the scrum. He was very confused to learn there was any backlash about the question. Yeah. So he went, oh, really? Man, that's crazy. He just was like trying to be nice, bro. Like, come on. And said there was nothing wrong with asking it and he took no issue with it. He didn't. He said he'd be happy to do an interview with Kate and didn't want any hate her way. So there you go, a consummate profesh. But like,
what I took away from this, Blue Sky ain't working out for Kate.
Yeah.
Jesus, terrible. She's just a bad human
Blue
being.
Sky ain't working out for the bitch, and she wants to come back to Twitter, and he's trying to put out the flames for when she comes back in 2 weeks, saying, "Hi guys."
Came back from his match. I was the next match. I'm sitting
sorry,
there.
we're playing Punk's like I got a pipe in here. No, Eric Bischoff. We were talking about Ray Phoenix, though. He addresses the Ray Phoenix situation, and Bischoff says, for the most part, I would agree with Tony. I would too if he didn't talk all that and the fan base didn't talk all that. And there's already all this bad will, if you will, with AEW. But Bischoff goes on to say, if you invest a lot of money in talent and the talent isn't able to perform because of an injury, to me, it makes sense that you would add that time. It does to me too, brother. However, he criticized AEW's talent management, saying it's one thing to collect talent like you're collecting action figures, and a lot of talent will initially be optimistic. They're making a lot of money, and that's cool for a while. But when you get talent that's really driven to perform, once that at least I'm getting a big check for every 2 weeks starts wearing off, now you got a lot of unhappy sons of bitches. And yeah, I said the same thing, bro. Nathan Frazier, when I was breaking down Dave with Nathan Frazier, right? Nathan Frazier wants to wrestle. So Dave's like, oh, he'd do better financially in AEW. Yeah, but he wouldn't be used. So the reason, Dave, you love Frazier so much is because he wrestles. If he goes to AEW, he's not going to wrestle. Ray Phoenix isn't wrestling, so why hold on to him when you guys were talking all that free alley before?